get started on the next chapter. And chapter 12, week 6. Erika started the week applying for college admissions tests. She'll take the test in September. She also applied to retake the test in October and November. She did this because she learned that retaking the test tends to improve the scores. After she filled out the form, she put her payment, put them in the envelope. At the same time, she asked her high school to send over her academic transcripts. First thing in the morning, she put it in the outgoing mailbox at the foot of the stairs. Adding a television set was the improvement Erika needed at the apartment before she was glancing at local newspaper stands to get the local news. Now she looked forward to watching Dennis Richmond talk about local news at KTVU Fox 2 station. It brought back happy memories of her childhood, so watching him helped her get grounded and stay updated on local news. Plus, it cost less than $50 plus tax to boot than the television set. Since rent included cable television, she also started watching cooking shows. She was especially happy watching Martin Yan's cooking series and took copious notes on how to cook. And his famous quote, "If Yan can cook, so can you." Moreover, moving her family's Apple computer to the dining room was a significant improvement. When she and Carla were growing up, they went to the living room and shared it to do their homework. The model she brought with her was one of the newer Power Macintosh computers. Since there were thousands of research articles about endometriosis, Erika focused on one topic at a time, for example, endometriosis and Candida albicans, endometriosis and adenomyosis, endometriosis and uterine fibroids. She also researched more about what happened in Sylvester, Italy back in 1976. At this time, she started writing the introductory paragraph of her proposed research project. Also, she used the internet to research Glenna and Frida's paintings as well. She definitely felt their pain in their respective paintings. In terms of the clinic, things were ramping up. One thing to note was the fact that the bulk of new patients were lesbian. Pedar surmised that could be the fact that Erika was progressive and they're picking up on that fact. And Chiaki was a guest speaker first thing Friday morning. They were dressed in their softball uniform. They explained that they were active part of the high school varsity softball team. Upon graduating, they went straight to culinary school. After they completed an internship, they started a restaurant with a couple of their friends. Over the course of several years, they prepared for an unrelated surgery. Pre-op included counseling to make certain they clearly understand what the surgery will and will not do. During the surgery, a team of surgeons saw a cyst on one of the ovaries, as well as several lesions and adhesions throughout the female parts, as well as the surrounding areas. When they sent some biopsies to the lab, they put a rush. Since the surgery was still in progress, the lab supervisor was called in, made the official diagnosis, stage 3 endometriosis. After the surgical team consulted with each other, they decided the best course of action is just cancel the surgery. At this time, they reversed course, removed all the gas from the abdomen, sewed up the incision, reversed the anesthetic. Whilst recovering from surgery, they asked around for specialists, found several in the Bay Area, and scheduled the next surgery. Not surprising, the surgery took several hours and they were in the hospital for several days. Since they had lingering pain after surgery, they went to the clinic for after surgery pain. Although they were still upset that the original surgery was canceled, this was the wake-up call they needed. Before surgery, they took on a lot of responsibility, including helping organize the annual Indigenous Peoples Day that takes place in San Francisco on the 4th Friday of September. After surgery, they are on medical leave from both coaching the local softball team and organizing said event. And once they complete treatment at the clinic, they will submit their resignation notice. At that time, they would seriously consider hosting their own cooking show at a local television station. At that time, they opened the floor for questions. Then Kim escorted Chiaki to the front lobby area. Although Chiaki kept their composure throughout the speech, Erika knew that there was a lot of pain behind those words. When Erika told Pedar she wished there was a similar system to help patients prepare for endometriosis surgery, he nodded. After he excused himself, she put her other thoughts on the back burner and returned to the internship. Resumed her internship at the front lobby area processing new patient applications. The studio was the complete opposite. Jonathan was busy editing their episode at Chucky's restaurant. At the same time, Maria was wrapping up her latest feature-length film, so there was a lot of cleaning up on set. Plus, Maria was preparing to edit the film, so Erica shadowed Maria and started learning about the editing process. She also made certain to set aside time to relearn how to play the piano. Once a week, a private instructor was at the studio to give her lessons. Moreover, the studio's driver started teaching her how to enter and exit the highway, as well as she made certain to spend once a week grocery shopping and brushing up on her parking skills. When she returned to her apartment, she also started rewriting her original play that was previously written off as whitewashed. At this time, she incorporated elements of her own experience as a female American writer of Asian descent. After each workday, Erica returned to her apartment to make dinner. Upon finishing dinner, Peodar set up a private tutor to further help Erica prepare for these examinations. Also, she checked out a book by Mei Nakano titled Japanese American Woman, Three Generations, 1890 to 1990. When she looked at her own experience as a new immigrant and child of new immigrants, she added her insight on how it's different from prior waves of Japanese immigrants. On Sunday, they met with Chiaki and their family. Erica had a renewed respect and appreciation for all Chiaki has been doing. She wasn't surprised that Chiaki took on a lot. As a member of a minority community, they feel the need to overcompensate. She did recall reading the section of Molly's book that the first son attended classes in high school, local college, and worked part-time. Chiaki was the same way. When Chiaki pulled Erica aside, they joked that they were the last to figure out that they are trans. This entire time, their parents and older siblings knew that they were trans from the beginning, and Chiaki said they could have spoken up so they wouldn't need to take several years to figure things out. Let's see. At this time, Chiaki did reveal one fact that they purposefully omitted at the clinic. They had the surgery on the same day as their longtime partner. The partner's surgery went as planned. Since their surgery was canceled and they were upset, they abruptly ended their relationship. After they started therapy at the clinic, they sent them a text message letting them know they are sorry and they will understand and respect if they should they choose not to respond. So far, they have not. Without saying a word, Eriko hugged Chiaki and Chiaki hugged Eriko back. Next, Chiaki talked about future plans with the cooking show. At this time, Chiaki asked how Eriko is faring with meal prep. When Eriko started talking about Martinian's cooking show, Chiaki's eyes lit up. When they looked at Pedar, he nodded. They spent the rest of the day at Chiaki's parents' house with Eriko's first cooking lesson, chicken teriyaki. When Erika realized that she didn't have any paper or a pen on her, Chiaki's mother provided her with some scrap paper and a pen. Peodar also chimed in that a member of the Murphy family owns a publishing company. They have ghostwriters who could put a cookbook together. So starting that Sunday after services, they went to Chiaki's parents' home for their weekly cooking lessons. Chiaki was a natural teaching cooking, and their food was delicious as always. Since they deliberately made more than 2 families worth of chicken teriyaki, all of them brought home leftovers. When she returned to her apartment, she noticed something in her mailbox. At first, she thought it might be her father's letter. Instead, it was from Kaolu. They said that their aunt, who lives in the big city, will visit her at the end of September to talk about their mother. She will stay at the Murphy Hotel, and Mr. Alloway would join her. He will only act as a translator. He will keep their family situation to himself. Kaolu also advised that they're not going to visit her father, so she needs to keep this hush-hush from him. After Erika wrote a letter to Calder promising to keep this information confidential, she put it in the stamped envelope, walked back downstairs to the outgoing mailbox. At this time, she put Calder's letter between her mattress and made a mental note to purchase a safe deposit box from a local department store the next day. After she took a long hot shower, she prayed that this was just a social call to make sure everything is alright in Japan. And as always, comments, constructive criticisms, clarification, questions, asking for clarifications, let me know. And I shall see you next time. Take care.